So I was wondering, what would happen if the Boston Tea Party caused the zombie apocalypse? So let's make it. And as we all know, the Boston Tea Party happened in 1773 because some American colonists didn't want to pay import taxes on tea, and thanks to them we haven't paid taxes on anything ever since. Knowing this, King George hired several witch doctors to turn anyone who messed with the tea into zombies. And knowing the fact that the first automatic rifle wouldn't be created until 1882, and the only thing the colonists had to defend themselves with was muskets, King George was confident that this would teach them who was the boss. But as we all learned in history class, the Anti-Zombie League of America was able to push the zombies back, thus securing a future from the British Empire and ensuring that we never have to pay taxes again. Well, as long as you're rich enough and can afford lawyers who know how to work the system, just as the founding fathers intended. Pro tip, it's always a good idea to use real rocks when making dioramas, that way you can prime and paint over them to make them look even less like real rocks, just to waste your time. And it's always a good idea to keep your working area clean. And since our scene was going to take place on a beach, I never mentioned that to you, but I'm sure you noticed it from the thumbnail, I was going to add a little dock. You may or may not notice, definitely will notice now that I'm telling you about it, but a large portion of this was made off camera, and by off camera I mean I happened to forget to push the record button while filming it. And here's the part of the show where you can sit back, relax, and listen to the nice generic royalty-free YouTube music. Nah, I lied. Now you can never trust me again. I used the wire brush and sandpaper to give it a little more of a worn look and also to remove some of the glue because I was going to use washes to paint it, and if you had any glue on there it wouldn't stick to it very well. I was going for an older or distressed kind of look on this wood, so I added a bunch of black, brown, and green washes. And a dry brushing of light tan to bring out the highlights. And now that the base is all dry, let's get it primed. And we'll make that zenithal. Yes, I know what you're thinking, and it's absolutely true. I should definitely pay my editor a lot more money. Well, the joke's on you because I'm the editor, and I'm not getting paid anything. Sucker. I mean, if anything, I'm actually losing money here. None of this stuff is free. Okay, for real this time. Let's just relax and listen to the music as I dry brush. For real? You believe me again? You know you can't trust me, right? Do you happen to remember a minute and 50 seconds ago when I talked about having to paint rocks to look like less real rocks? Now's the time. I just paint them gray and then dry brush them lighter gray to look like, less real rocks than they did before. And here I apply absolutely too much black wash. It's actually very inexpensive. It's homemade. I learned to make it from a tutorial that Black Magic Craft has. I add some mossy green to the shoreline and to some of the rocks to make it look like, green moss. And now we move on to my favorite part. We apply some watered down PVA glue to wherever we want our static grass to be. The static grass applicator makes a static field, making the grass particles stand up on end. The result is some realistic looking grass and hopefully not electrocuting yourself. I added some grass tufts as well as some flocking to really make this diorama about zombies made from tea look realistic. See, I gave you the calming, relaxing music that time, I just didn't tell you about it. Don't ever trust me, okay? I added these thinking that it would look like seaweed that had washed up on shore. And with the base done, let's go on to making some zombies. Yeah, I spent about 20 minutes picking bits up off the ground for that scene, so I really hope you enjoyed that shot. Again, I would like to thank my editor. I do believe he deserves a raise after that one. The zombies I painted pretty simply. I just did some dark red for the inner parts, some light green for the skin, a dark green wash, and painted the pants, I don't know, whatever, toga brown? A quick copy and paste to the other ones. Now this crate is full of cursed tea. You have to believe me, okay? Now these Colonial Militia men are from Warlord Games, and it says on the box it's from 1776, but I think it's okay if our timeline is slightly not 100% accurate. So you might be asking yourself, was that a way for me to show you that I know how to do a half decent transition? Or a way for me to be lazy and not actually have to film myself painting these minis? The answer to that is yes. To make the water, I use UV resin for two reasons. For starters, it's really easy to use and it's hard to mess up, and secondly, you can dry it really fast, and I'm extremely impatient, so it works out. To make the water look less flat and add some texture to it, I use some high gloss Mod Podge. So I was thinking to myself, it's December in Boston, so shouldn't there be snow? So I add some of the snow paste to wherever I think snow might collect or looks decent or doesn't look horrible. So that's what I did. Well, if you stayed this far, I just want to say thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it.